What's going on, everybody? This is James Grandmaster Facts Boyce, and this is another episode of the Facts Project. Today, we got a special guest. My man, my brother, Onaji Rouse, excellent creator of Odina with Konkret Comics. Thank you for being here, bro. For one, but as soon as he got on here, I was like, man, I ain't seen this brother in so long, man. It's good to see you.
Well, thank you. And that's the same thing I thought. I was like, I ain't seen my facts in so long. I was like, damn. Because you were the first person who I talked to online when the pandemic hit.
Really? Was I?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And to be honest, when I started the IG series where I was basically like talking to creators and everything like that, you were probably, if not first, but second person that I talked to.
Yeah. So
straight up and down. and so basically, cats like you have been the spark of me starting this bullshit. No, I'm kidding. but it's allowed me to talk to a lot of creators, and me and you. I think the one that we talked about was about the X-Men.
Magneto and Professor X.
Yes, we were. Yep, that's exactly what we were talking about.
I'm gonna tell you, like, this is like a family reunion for me. So
forewarning. If we get to talking about mutants and X-Men, this will be a long ass episode. This will be a very long ass episode. So, first off, congratulations, because Odina #3, of course, got successfully funded on Kickstarter, along with issue 1, issue 2. So, you know what I'm saying? The ball keeps rolling for you.
Yeah.
So, for one, how does that feel?
Well, it feels great. It feels amazing because, you know, as a creator, you know, there's going to be times where you might feel like it gets a little slow, but it's good to see the reception is still there.
Yeah. Now, and also, I mean, not to say that we've relaxed, we've laxed a little bit with COVID. A lot of physical Comic-Cons have started to open back up to the point where Atlantic Comic-Con seemed like it was like a concrete reunion of sorts. So the entire Konkret family showed up on Onaji's doorstep, probably bothered half of his family and friends for about 2 to 3 days that they were there. So from what I saw in the pictures, it's Lonzo Starr, Jamil Lessie. Did Daniel show up?
No, Daniel showed up. Jamil wasn't able to make it.
Jamil wasn't able to make it. So Daniel was there. Let's see. Jason Michael Primrose was over there. David Rucker was over there. I was sitting there like, Jason Tyler was over there. I was like, yo, come on, man. I was like,
we're rolling deep.
That's what I was saying. I was like, if these motherfuckers don't buy books, they might get jumped.
It was like a Wu-Tang Clan type ordeal. Dave Rucker wore this straw hat the whole time.
Oh man, look.
Like, and his mask. So like all you saw was his eyes, and so he was like, you know, he's the muscle of the group. So I was like, Dave, get him.
David Rucker, author of Decimation Earth, is a former Marine. So
exactly.
So if you wasn't buying books, he was probably like putting you in a dark ass corner somewhere, interrogating you. But I've done a live with David before where he had that same straw hat that you talk about on, looking like a farmer's Kung Lao.
Yep, exactly.
But it had to feel good because, like, I think I ran into Lonzo and Jamil and Daniel at Black Label Comic-Con, and he said that y'all ran through like almost all your books.
It was, let me tell you something. First of all, it was a blast. Like, it was work, but it was good because we did run through most of our books. We were pretty much like kind of hitting from day one, which was that Thursday. Well, not Thursday, was it a Thursday? That Friday morning. We were hitting from day one, like, you know, boom, boom, boom. So it was good. It was a good feeling. It was work.
Yeah.
It was a good feeling.
Right. And from what Lonzo was basically telling me, he was like, I don't think that the reception was well more anticipated than what he saw, because you've lived in Atlanta for a very, very long time. He's
Mm-hmm.
been there on occasions.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying, the fact that you guys got to like set your books down, and then all of a sudden droves of people just start coming up to y'all, just and the thing is not going over there to basically like try to find out about Concrete. It's more so like, where y'all books at? I'm trying to buy the shit so I can get the fuck on.
Yeah. No, seriously. And there was one particular brother who I met the weekend before at another event. And I told him, I was like, you know, because I didn't have the Absolver books on me. See, he wanted like all the books. And I was like, I don't have Absolver books on me, but we're going to have them next weekend at Atlanta Comic Con. He came to Atlanta Comic Con. He was like, I found you guys. I was like, well, here you go.
Yeah, man. So let's dive into it, because for those of you that have not read Odina 1 and 2, we're talking about a retired superhero who pretty much gets put back into action by the calling of an ancient being who has now arrived on Earth. I happened to read issues 1 and 2 before we started the interview. As a matter of fact, by the time Lonzo hit me, I started reading again. And so we get introduced to, and you have to help me with the pronunciation, because you know you use some very, very ancient African dialect names that I know I will completely fuck up. You know, so ultimately there's the antagonist of the story, Lady T.
Lady T. It's Tia, but I say Lady T but it's Tia.
Yeah, it's spelled T-I-Y-E.
Yeah.
So ultimately they, I believe in Odina 1, they are confronted by two ancient beings themselves in Asima and damn the fuck this. Here we go. The name. Here we go. God damn it! Because I was really, you know, I was going to butcher that. You know what I'm saying? So they're basically being told about her domination, what she's done in the past, how she is basically the destruction of worlds, and more so the collection of like certain entities, like the Key of Aman, I believe that's what it's called, that she's trying to forge in order to start her rebellion on Earth.
Well, she has it at the end of issue 2. A lot of people don't know it, but it's the end. It's the ceremonial acts.
When they come down to that final ending, when Odina finds her at the end of issue 2, it seems like, yeah, I already have it. So it's about to be on. But inevitably, Odina, Devin, Eclipse, conjuring the assistance of a, I guess if you want to call her like a griot, but her name is Lady M.
Yes.
Like, and they go to her to be almost as like a medium to try to find out exactly where Lady T is.
Yeah.
So this entire episode, you're getting more and more information about the antagonist. And and the more you read, you realize how big and bad this lady is. So when you were creating her, did you feel like the backstory had to be built up as big as it is? And for Odina to see how shook everybody is when they do talk about her, in order to come to the realization, be like, okay, Odina, if you do face her, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I wanted to do, because, okay, so you ever think, you know how like in Thanos and Endgame, how, you know, it was like this linger of him throughout the series. It was like a linger every time, even like before the post credits, there was a linger of who this guy is. Like, you know, you had an idea how bad he was, or like what was coming, but you didn't really know.
Right.
So, and then on top of that, but to have this person who has done the most, yeah, she's not gonna be like some lightweight, some other like hero she can just knock out and call it a day, like she did the guy in the first issue.
Yes.
No, this is not like a lightweight fight. No, this is, you're gonna have to put in that work for this.
Right. And upon seeing that, because like it seems more so that everybody that she has had a little bit of dialogue with has pretty much told her flat out to her face, Like we all got our ass kicked by her. So why do you keep, and the thing is, Odina, if you haven't read any of the books, she got these one-liners. I believe there was the one person that she gets on their nerves the most is Asima. Like she she really don't like her ass.
No, they don't.
Aside from the fact that like I want to grab the book because there's so many digs at her throughout that entire issue. Like you can tell Odina, although she's someone with very OP strengths and characteristics,
yeah,
she got a smart ass mouth, man.
Yeah, very snarky. Just very. You know how we get when we get comfortable.
Yeah.
So, and we calling the shots, and then she doesn't really want to be here, but they're telling her to come back, and she's like, "I'm only doing this part time, so I'm only helping y'all out." So
Right.
she has the mindset of, "I'm only helping you guys out." So you got this big demigod coming in, like, okay,
Yeah. Like I like the fact that whenever she gets smart with somebody, like Devin is just basically like playing the background, like, "Come on, Odina, I got this, please."
Yeah, like
please.
he's used to that.
Like, please, could you sit over here, man, so I can get a word in? Like I like how, like especially in comic book format, when you have two people talking at each other, and you have this one person trying to like fit in the word. You can see in some of the panels that Devin's just like, "Would you please? Come on." Like, God damn, man, let me talk to her.
See what he got to deal with?
Right. So for those people that are going to for the most part get issue 3 like in the next when is delivery, like December?
October.
Oh
No,
shit.
hold on. Hold on. Actually, no, it's December. But we are, it's already done, but it might be before that. So we'll say December to be safe.
Okay.
But yeah.
So what do they have? What do we hope to expect? Because that the ending of issue 2 is that cliffhanger where Odina finally comes face to face with Lady T.
This is that turning point in the book where the actual hero and the villain meet. So what's going to happen? A big old brawl, and then what's the outcome? It'll be a setback.
Right.
For who? Would it be for Lady T or will it be for Odina?
So we're expecting a lot of action out of this next issue,
from front to back.
Oh man, see. Now, how, if I can ask, how does Sister Circle play in the part of this story?
So Sister Circle as well as Kandaki are tie-ins. So
okay.
Sister Circle, you see that Asima is part of Sister Circle.
Yes.
And Eclipse. So after the last issue of Odina, it picks up from there. Because even the last battle, it's pretty much the gates. They're trying to open up the gates of purgatory to let the demigods out. Because remember now, Lady T believes that all humans and gods got to leave the earth. Only her and the hybrids need to inherit the earth. Like she's going to try to wipe everybody out.
Right.
So there were that escaped. Some, trying to go about their business, Kandaki. And there are others who are going back to their territories in Africa and they're taking back over, whether it's conquering villages, all this type of stuff. So the Sister Circle is a group of women that Lady and Mayette get together to help her take them down and hunt these demigods down.
Yeah, because the first time I heard about hybrids was that one page, I believe, when they were introduced to Lady M.
Yeah.
Lady M discusses exactly like some of the hybrids, and she even points, I think she points one out. Doesn't she point? Isn't Eclipse? She points out that Eclipse is.
No, Eclipse tried to say we're descendants of gods, and Odina was like, "No, we're not. Shut up." Basically, she shut her down. Which technically the superheroes are descendants of the gods because they're a product of hybrids and mortals.
Right.
So hybrids and mortals can mix. Hybrids and gods cannot.
So was it always, I guess, within your storyline to garner up the names of ancient African deities, dive into African mythology in order to make the book work?
Yes.
And why Yeah, I was about to say, why is that?
Because normally we have the mythology of Zeus, Olympus, and all this other stuff. You know, we know more about that through comics. Like that was the only thing that was like the Herculeses and the Zeus, the Athenas. So why not build up our own stuff to where we know more about that?
Yep.
Like Sister Circle, pretty much, all 5 of those members, which I got to tell you their names, but and who they are. Like Asima, she's a former mercenary and assassin. Eclipse, you part of the SSP program. There's a character who's an Afro Latina by Sister Sledge. She's the young girl with the curly afro.
Okay.
She's the genius level intellect, so she can build any like weapon or whatever. So that's why she got her hammer with her. And Layla, who is Layla's a mystery. She has divine powers, but she doesn't necessarily know how to use them. The lady in blue. And
so she's a little reckless.
Yes, she is the reckless one of the group.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So we're now in issue 3. Yes. How far of the story, how far is this going to go? How far is it written when it finally does reach that pivotal point where it switches over into that tie-in with Sister Circle?
Issues 6, the
Issue
finale.
6. Okay.
The finale. You'll see at the end of the page, you'll start to see certain people talking to each other. You'll see certain alliances being built.
Now, does this lead to a farewell to Odina?
No, not at all. Odina, no.
I was just about to say, okay.
No. Let me tell you something. I've got like a whole rap sheet of like where I'm going next. Next, volume 2, it's going to dive more into her, not just as a superhero, but her trying to maintain her balance of life. Because after that big battle takes place, the world is kind of on alert of superheroes now.
Right.
So now she's trying to, date, hang out, but she's struggling to trying to find her point. And also, aliens. Oh, sorry, damn, I gave it away.
No, because you've actually hinted at this, and some of the page clippings. You actually you were referencing this another mythical being, which we didn't know there was if this person was alien or not.
Yeah.
You've had some of these pages, and we were like, "Who's that?"
Yeah. So
and we were kind of alluding to it, wait, where does she fit in? I read 2 of the books. I ain't seen nobody that looked like that.
Yeah, I got a ton of people that have made their names have come across, but they're in the works. So, okay. But yeah, next volume 2, we're getting a slight invasion, not a full on. Someone's hunting something. So,
got you.
Yeah.
Now, aside from that, you of course are within the company of a bunch of other characters, whether it be Andy Starboy, Absolver, Acolyte, the Watchmen, David Rucker's Decimation Earth label. Is there any hints at crossovers in the future?
There is. We actually talked about this. We talked about this, and
I kind of figured that.
And we're planning it out now. How we're gonna do it. But it definitely is some planning crossover. Trust and believe. We I'm trying not to tell too much.
I don't. Try to just weave through traffic. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna try to weave through traffic. But let's just say there are certain things that happen that take place in everyone's book, whether it's after my issue 5, issue 6, or whatever, where certain news anchor and news spotlights get a hold of clips of people and other people are aware of other people, and yeah. And other villains might make an appearance, and
now see. See, because I look at the settings of a lot of the books. Acolyte being a little bit more cosmic, Absolver being, of course, this dark, gritty character, champion of the underworld and whatnot. Andy being this campy alien type You know, like a lovable.
Yeah,
He's like a lovable character,
yeah,
even though he doesn't believe it. So you know
yeah.
what I'm saying, Odina is just this strong female figure. The Watchmen. I mean, I feel as though Lyle that's just Lyle in comic book form. You know what I'm saying? Like
Pretty much.
like for real, like it's just like whatever his personality is, he just literally just sucked that shit out and threw it right into
Oh, and then Decimation Earth, you know, is alternate dimension.
yeah, the Lovecraftian horror book, a lot of time travel with tons of time jumps that
Hmm.
he puts in that book. I actually just got I think it was the other day. I finally got my issue 2 like the other day.
Oh wow.
Of but no, I do have Odina always by me. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I mean, you guys have pretty much been running the gauntlet for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Did you think when it started, when you, Lonzo, and Jamel got together,
Hmm.
that it was just the flow was going to be and the symmetry amongst y'all as a group, as a brotherhood, was going to turn out like this?
Honestly, I didn't think so, but a part of me like was saying like this is it. Like something's happening. You know, you get that feeling where you can't explain it.
Yeah.
So, but it was there. So that's what the feeling I was getting. I couldn't put it into words, basically.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was something that I was like, okay, okay, I'm just slow. Try not to overthink it. Get out my head.
Right. And it all turned out from like three brothers that like met in like, didn't y'all meet in like a comic book fan group on Facebook or something like that?
Well, me and Jamel met in we were part of another indie group. And
Okay.
then after that one kind of faltered, we kept in contact. And then Jamel knew Lonzo, and then he was like, well, I have this other guy who, he's, trying to start his own book too. And so that's when, both of us was like a little hesitant. We was like, oh, you know, and but good enough. It worked out because when we met, it was an instant clash instant click between all three of us. So
Yeah. And no, all three of y'all, better yet, the entire group over at Concrete just love to bash each other constantly. It's hilarious to see and fun to watch. You
oh
know,
my god.
I'm sure y'all have y'all little weekly meetings and everything like that. And somebody just talking about somebody.
Well, it's kind of like it's kind of like a not a frat house, but it is a brotherhood. It's a family. Family. You got to rag. If you don't rag on your family, who the hell can you rag on?
Exactly. And I remember in the first talks that I've had with each of you, like the one question I always brought up is like, how the hell do you guys make this work? Most of y'all live 400, 500 miles away from each
Yeah,
other, and y'all manage it like Lyle lives in Chicago.
yeah.
David lives in North Carolina.
Hmm.
You live in Georgia. Lonzo and Jamil live in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Daniel lives in Pennsylvania, like the middle of Pennsylvania. He don't even live in Philly. Like, I'm like, how the hell are y'all doing this shit?
Divine connection.
And strong internet. I see that.
That too. Good Wi-Fi. That
Good
all.
Wi-Fi.
It's just fiber.
Man, because at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, y'all have exceeded expectations. There's been plenty of books that I've seen from y'all. I remember first seeing. I actually picked up Jamel's book first,
Yeah.
and I think I shouted y'all out on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I think Lonzo caught foot of that because I had shouted you out on Instagram and I was on the Party Nerds page. I don't even think I had social media at that time.
Yeah.
And Lonzo took hold of that, and then all of a sudden we connected, And all of a sudden I connected with you. And then I talked to Jamel one day, and then I'm like, yo, I
You
like,
in the
man.
fold, basically.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sitting there like, okay, like, yo, it's easy to fit in with y'all, man. Y'all are easy to talk to. I'm sure it's fun to have y'all out at a lot of Comic Cons. Are y'all coming up here for New York Comic Con?
Well, that's the thing we wanted to do. We might try to still make an appearance.
Have to bogart y'all way up in there, man.
I know.
Yeah,
See,
but the one thing I know about Comic Cons is that within Artist Alley, there are creators who have tables, and the table is 6 feet long. So that one creator might move his shit to one side and be like, "Yo, you want to share a table with me?"
yo, let me go look. Let me call Lonzo and Jamil real quick.
Yeah, because that has happened in the past, and the thing is, I know because of a lot of things opening back up. You know, it'd be a good ass opportunity for y'all guys, especially to get out here. I know. I think Lonzo was just a ChemFest,
Yeah,
which is that's North Jersey. That's
yeah.
probably closer to him than anything. And the fact that you guys have physical cons to where you can actually do hand-to-hand sales has to be a bonus.
Oh yeah, it's amazing to. Well, you get the people who they be like, "I seen your stuff online," and I'll be like, "Okay, well, I'm glad you actually seen our stuff. That's cool. Like we're breaking through the noise." So I'm amazed by that. And when they come to the table and be like, I get to find, buy the physical books, and then you got people who discover us. That's
Yeah.
even more amazing. They'd be like, "Are these your guys' books?" And we'd be like, "Yeah," and they'd be like, "Oh my god, these look amazing." I'd be like, "Thank you." I'm still not used to hearing that shit, as you can
Word.
tell. Yeah.
Now being as how you're in Georgia, how is the comic scene in the South?
Well, it's pretty big here in Atlanta. Like,
Okay.
because the one thing I try to explain to people when it comes to Atlanta, Atlanta's like an HBCU. You have so many different Black groups here. It's not just one particular group. And so with the blur community, it's starting to grow even more, being that, Black Panther, the entertainment scene, gaming scene, all that stuff, all that, and anime, it's starting to flourish here. So now you have more cosplay events, MomoCon, DragonCon, uh, Atlanta Convention, Atlanta Comic Con. You have like a bunch of stuff, Black business conventions, all that stuff. So
Mhm.
it flourishes. We have it's the home of Black entrepreneurship. So
Right.
it's going to happen there. Like I think here, like right now, I just and this is a matter of fact, I can tell you now.
Mhm.
But my sister's going to be Odina at Afropunk cosplay event.
So Afropunk down there in Atlanta.
Yes, there's a Belts Line cosplayer, which is here in Atlanta.
Mhm.
They're having an event with BlurCon at Afropunk for cosplayers and a gaming tent. So one of the young ladies, I reached out to her to be a cosplayer, and she actually said, "I actually want to talk to you about being Odina at Afropunk event that I'm doing." And so she was like, "Because I really want to get represent," and I was like, "Say no more. What you need from me?" So I'm getting some stuff now to give to her, like as a handout, as like merchandise. So yeah, she sent me how she's doing the wig and everything. So I can't wait.
Now, see, how does that make you feel, man? Because like you created this character, you drew it up in your mind. She has to look a certain way. Her hair has to be like kind of like it has to have the fade,
Yeah,
and she's got the pump and more hair on the opposite end. I've seen people do fan art of Odina, and
I know.
it looks fire.
When
When
I
you
tell you,
actually you
it
got
still takes me off guard. It
that's
still
what
takes
I'm
me off
saying.
guard.
Like you got a physical person calling you up, be like, "Hey, I'm doing Afropunk like in a couple
Yeah,
weeks, and I want to do Odina."
yeah. I try not to think too hard about it, facts, because I might get a little choked up. I'm being
Right?
real. So
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like that. I remember, I think what was it, Atlanta Comic Con when I met Lonzo and them, and I was talking to him. He was like, "Yo, we was just sitting there, selling our comics, and this
mhm.
dude rolled up on us dressed as Acolyte."
Yeah,
And I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, I didn't tell him to be there as Acolyte. He just rolled up on us as Acolyte.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? It's like we didn't know this dude from Adam.
Yeah.
And then he rolls up as Acolyte.
Trying to tell you.
And see, that's fucking phenomenal. Because when you're an indie comic book creator, the biggest thing that you want to do, yes, is get your story out there. The second biggest thing you want to do is inspire people by the characters that you create.
Yes.
So when you have people you have never met in any walk of life that have picked up your book or have seen the characters put out there on social media, and then all of a sudden they are in your face in full costume as something that you conjured in your mind, and you get to look them in their face. First off, you're going to be like stuttering and befuddled.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit. Like look,
it's still, I'm trying to tell you, it still takes my breath away. Like the fan art, the people will be like, I really love Odina. I'll be like, in my mind, I'll be like, say thank you, fool. Say thank you.
Get it out, nigga.
I know. But my heart is just like, oh my God, thank you so much. But my mind is like, shut up. Don't say nothing stupid.
I think one of the first ones I seen the fan art, this one guy, was it Luna One?
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
That shit, it's still the fact that I know the guy's name. I'm not even on social media that much no more. And I remember that one like sticking out because it was like a headshot more so. It was like a little bit of the top of the body, but it was more so just like this gigantic headshot of Odina that he created, painted it, drew it all up. The hair was tight, and like the background was like fire. And I'm sitting there looking at this like, fuck, he is like he could do the cover if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm like, God.
I'm telling you, like it's amazing in such a way that I'll think about it later that night and I'll have to reflect and I'll be like, I'm grateful. Like I can't, words can't explain like how grateful not just me, but all of us when we see stuff like that. So,
of course.
Yeah. And like you said, we're independent,
yeah,
really fucking huge. So
yeah, like we could talk all day about DC and Marvel, but those characters were drawn into somebody's mind from the 1930s.
Yeah.
Way before my grandmama was here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's been so many reiterations of all those characters over time that when you see one walking at a Comic-Con, it doesn't even phase you. It's like, oh, three Spider-Mans just passed me. No problem. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever, man. There's Miles Morales, there's Ben Riley, and Peter Parker. Cool. Yeah, you guys, man, you look awesome. Like, but when you guys get that, I can see where it goes. Which brings me to the X-Men now. Now, hey man, look, after I'll say this one thing about this current X-Men run. I'm sad to see it go, but I understand. I understand
because I totally get what you're saying because it's been so Jonathan Hickman's been doing his damn thing.
Yeah, right.
So did you read Sword event?
The X of Swords?
Yeah. Yes. So the last two books.
Mm-hmm.
That battle.
Yeah.
That kind of inspired me to do the last two books of Odina.
Oh. Okay. All right, I know where you're going then. Never mind. All right, got you. All right. Yeah, because I mean, for those of us that are like X-Men enthusiasts and everything like that, Jonathan Hickman has been writing House of X and Powers of X when he put it together since 2018, 19. So it might be 18. Because it might be 18. That spawned a whole bunch of books: Hellions, Marauders, Fallen Angels, X-Force, Wolverine, all this stuff that branched out. Then you had the Dawn of X series. Then you had the X of Sword series. And now we're coming to this conclusion. And then like you hear these rumblings that Jonathan Hickman, you know, wants to chill off of this for a little bit. And when you're a writer, like if your heart ain't into it, I probably don't want you to write it.
Yeah.
You know, so and that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, but I just feel like, you know, like he definitely did his thing with these for the past like 3 years. So I'm like, man, I'm sad to see you go, but I understand.
Man, Hellfire Gala and
Planet. Oh my God, Planet Size X-Men. Oh, you want to talk about? I read that book and I was like, can you believe this shit?
I was like, if only we could.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that most people look at the X-Men as basically the correlation of Black liberation just put in the screen based on comic book characters. So when you see them finally coming into their own, they create Krakoa, and then they just realize that that's not enough.
Yeah.
So let's get the fuck off this planet.
let's go on and make Mars a planet.
You know what I'm saying? And then it brings forth those drawbacks from House of X and Powers of X, because they wanted to have all the Omega level mutants in one place for one singular event. And then you finally realize what that fucking event was.
Yep.
We're going to terraform a planet.
Exactly.
We're going to make this shit breathable. Like fucking Magneto takes off the helmet. He was like, yeah, I don't need this shit no more.
And make Storm the queen of the damn planet.
Oh my God. They made Storm the queen of the fucking planet. I was like, yo, this is fucking amazing. I was like, and then I'm sitting there like, I'm like, okay, why hasn't Storm ever gotten her own solo book? Because this is the perfect time now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That and the Sword series is amazing.
Yeah. The X of Swords events were beyond amazing. As a matter of fact, those tying into those X-Men comics that they were doing, where Apocalypse kind of like put himself out there to most of the young mutants that were coming up. It was like he was like chopping them down. He was like the executioner in that pit. And he was like, don't come into this arena scared. If you know, in order for you to be reborn, you have to die. And he was like, the shit that he was saying to them.
But they needed it though.
Yeah. But how he was talking to them, man.
Yeah. Because compared to the Rockies, I mean, they were a little, I hate to admit it, they're a little soft. You know, Krakoa is a little soft. So
yeah.
So he needed that, like, tough him up. That's why Genesis is like, you know, make them fit.
Yeah. And then in Planet Size X-Men, they constructed those 2 statues of Genesis and Apocalypse. I was like, oh man, I was tearing up. I was like, God. I was like, oh my God, there's erected statues of these niggas. I was like, this is amazing.
Oh yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah. But all in all, to get back on our square.
Yes.
Do you feel content with creating Odina in the first place?
Yes, I do. And because when I think about how she came about when I was at home one day, and I was like, man, you know, why isn't there like a female superhero, like really like in the market or in TV or stuff like that? You know, why is it when we do? Because I did have a black guy superhero at first, but I didn't want to get lost in the shuffle with all the other, you know, superheroes that are coming out. And I was like, well, you know, what would make a character stand out? I was like, well, there's not many black women superheroes, so what would create one? And then I like did my research, you know, thinking about being around my nieces and, you know, their obnoxiousness and, you know, just TV, you know, the influence on black culture overall. Like, come on. Like,
yeah. No, I get that. I get that 100%. And even so that it's inspired you also to work within live action with Odina. Am I correct?
Yes. That's one of the things we're doing for stretch goal is once we get a certain amount, we're going to release the proof of concept that I did. So that way, because we do plan on doing a short eventually. Yeah, live action short. We already got the script written, everything. My brother Open Gate Studios, like, let me know when you're ready.
So Mr. Jonathan Armour is on board, ready,
Yes.
ready with camera in hand to
Yeah,
put this all
he
together.
already got the script.
Oh man,
We got to do some scouting and everything. So yeah,
that's beautiful, man. That's wonderful. Well, brother, I appreciate you doing this.
well,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Well, first of all, I got to thank you for having me because I was like, what is the facts being?
I'm here.
It's an honor to always get to talk to you.
Yeah, man. Look, man, it's an honor to talk to you, man. I always know that, you know what I'm saying, you're a person that's very passionate about their art, and you and the brothers at Concrete, y'all have always been on your square as just like being a lovable bunch of dudes that just do awesome things and put forth a product out there that anybody can adapt to.
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely. And we gonna chat.
Okay, good.
All right, man. So for everybody here at the Facts Project, my man Onaji Rouse, thank you.
Yes, thank you, brother.
All right. And we are out.